making music and podcasting are very alike and are similar in a lot of ways. It's like a love-hate thing because podcasting, much like music, is very direct. It's very cutthroat and it's straight to the point. It's very simple. The people either mess with you or they don't. They either like it or they don't. You either have supporters or you don't. It's very black and white. And so it's tough. I love it. And at the same time, it sucks because you'll know right away whether it's something that's going to be big, small, is something that's going to get through, or it's something that's just not catching. You know what I'm saying? And it's humbling. It really is. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig. And why do I keep booking haircut appointments after I get done recording, at least the day of or the day after? I have no idea why. I can only assume that it's probably because my barber is busy and I'm going off of his schedule. And then when I don't go to him, or I don't have the time to go to him, or, you know, I'll go to Jeffrey. And a lot of the times I have a certain window I can get haircuts, and it's like very specific, and I can kind of squeeze in these days and kind of squeeze in that. So yeah, I could have just gone to him, I guess, you know, technically, but I have this tendency of booking after the days I'm supposed to record. Most of the time. Sometimes I get it right, but most of the times I don't. And that shit is annoying. So I'm wearing a hat not because A, it matches my jersey because I am a Dodgers fan, but number two is because my dumbass didn't book it in time and people get busy. And I gotta say, you can't see right now because it's all messed up, but I have my long hair going on right now. I've been in my long hair era, right? I'm in the long hair era. But I got to be honest, the short hair is coming back. I'm bringing the short hair back because it's way too freaking hot in the summertime. And the thing about long hair, especially if you have thick hair like mine, like I have really thick hair. And the annoying part is that it is tedious to like keep up and maintain and try to style when you're going to be sweating, where you're going to be wearing hats, when you're going to be wearing hard hats and moving so freaking much that it's annoying. It's annoying. And on top of that, it gets really hot and I hate when they sweat and like I could feel the sweat coming off the hair. You know what I'm saying? Like I could feel it on my face. I don't like that feeling, and I'm hoping that I don't have to have that done anytime soon. So because of that, I'm going back to the short hair just for the summertime. I probably more than likely will bring it back during the winter, but for the meantime, summertime, short hair, wintertime, long hair. It's kind of like, you know, when people work out, they say, you know, you bulk in the winter to prep for the summertime. So it's like they say that summer bodies are built in the winter. So like people will bulk up during the winter and then start to cut during the summer or spring time frame going into summer. So it's like off and on, off and on, off and on. I don't know that because I'm definitely not one of those people that work out all year round. I've only been recently started working out more just to prep for the summer, just to get more toned and leaned out. I just want some definition. You know, I think I talked about it on like 2 or 3 episodes ago how I wanted some definition back because I was letting that shit go. The dad bar got a little bit out of control for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely trying to get some tone back on that one. So I guess I'm doing 2 things: toning up and getting short hair. I'm getting short hair and sexy. I'm getting short hair and sexy. You feel me? So yeah, I'm bringing the short hair era back, especially for the summertime. Like I said, that's like the main reason thing. And yeah, I forget how I look with the short hair because I feel like I've had the long hair, and it's not even that long realistically. It's always the size of all. They're like literally, I get bald face on the sides and everything. I just let the top grow up. But I'm bringing all that back, and I'm excited for that one. But yeah, nonetheless, we back. Another solo episode. 2 other episodes down in the books. We did the Cody Allen episode. We did the Devin episode. Yeah, definitely suggest y'all go back and check that out if you haven't already. Cody Allen was a good episode. I feel like it's a good episode that not a lot of people have tuned into. I got a lot of downloads and listens from, but not so much on the YouTube. But I feel like it's the YouTube one complements it well, especially when you can see the person's face. At least that's how I interpret it. Like a lot of my podcasts, how I try to do for this one is I try to put myself as a listener point of view, or in a listener's point of view. Like, I indulge in podcasts. I listen to podcasts, but I like to watch podcasts as well to match up, the face with the person I'm listening to. And the same could be said, or the same thing it is for that one. It's one of those ones where you gotta like look, you know what I mean, kind of look to get a good feel for what he's talking about. And I feel like it's one that's kind of underrated so far, because his story, what we're talking about, what he opened up to, what I ultimately opened up to, and what we had in common, similarities, family stuff, you know what I'm saying, like background stuff, points of views and stuff like that. And on top of all that, it's insightful on a business aspect, because he talks about, being the CMO, CEO, CSO for multiple businesses that he's partnering up with, and how he started out, and, trials and tribulations between, being broke, getting fired, being on unemployment, to, seeing where he's at right now. So it's definitely insightful, and I recommend y'all go check that one out. And then the episode that we did with Devin, that one was interesting too, because he is someone who myself and Don Julio from Full Circle Mentality podcast, we both have been like listening to his music from afar, meaning like we're listening to his music and never really engaged with them or interacted with them. So that time that I sat down with him, had him on the podcast, that was my first time meeting him and then talking to him, face to face, other than, direct messages on Instagram. So it was cool that we set that up, especially, like I said, I guess the same thing, putting the face to the person, you know what I mean? So it was a cool episode to get done, and I'm glad we were able to sit down and chop it up and get to know him a little more and talk about his music and everything. Because I definitely feel like there's room right there for people to indulge in, if that makes sense, So glad we knocked that one out. And then prior to that one was a solo one, and then this one is another solo one again. And it's crazy. We're already on episode 131. And I feel like every single time that I do these solo ones, it's always at some point there's some type of reflection, or at least I look back at other solos ones. And so this one's not any different. I look back and I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, look how far we've essentially came, you know what I mean? And to think that it's still doing solo ones, which I think is like really hard. I'm not going to use the word hard, but it's tough to keep up, right? Because there's no one here. So I have to keep the conversation with myself, or keep the dialogue, or keep the content going by yourself, knowing that it's an empty ass room. You know what I mean? It'd be easier if I had a producer right here, which I've said plenty of times before, but it's still like, at some points, it's still almost, dare I say, use the word amazes me amazes me that I'm still able to do this at this level. Not to say that it's up there, but at this level, as far as time management, scheduling, and decisiveness in this, doing a solo one, and again and again and again, and however times it need me. And it's actually like a benefit, because I can adjust on the fly. I can do a guest one 1 week, a solo one 1 week, and then a solo one again, and solo one again, and solo one again, if I need to, if need be. And I think that's definitely what's the word I want to say on this one? I think it's definitely beneficial from my end, just knowing that I can do all of that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still not satisfied yet too. That's another thing too. I'm not satisfied yet, you know what I mean? And it's interesting, because I was thinking about this while I was driving earlier today. I'm going to say this lightly. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's factual, or I'm not saying that this is true. This is just what I believe personally. I feel like, I'll tread lightly because I don't mean it in its entirety, but I'll say, I feel like artists, people who make music, creatives, or specifically we'll just say artists and people who make music and podcasting, or let's just say making music and podcasting are very alike and are similar in a lot of ways. It's like a love-hate thing, because podcasting, much like music, is very direct. It's very cutthroat, and it's straight to the point. It's very simple. The people either mess with you or they don't. They either like it or they don't. You either have supporters or you don't. It's very black and white. And so it's tough. I love it. And at the same time, it sucks because you'll know right away whether it's something that's going to be big, small, is something that's going to get through, or it's something that's just not catching. You know what I'm saying? And it's humbling. It really is. Because part of you is just like, you believe in what you're doing, you believe in what you're putting out and the content that you're creating or the music that you're creating. And maybe it's not getting traction. Maybe it's not getting to the point that you thought it would be. And maybe it's not as hot or the hot thing that you thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? But that's the challenge. That's the challenge in that is when you have those doubts and you have those moments of reflection when you're thinking that this isn't this or this isn't that, that you continue to do exactly what you're doing consistently. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's it builds character. Yeah. I know it's like you hear that a lot, like, oh, people do this or people do that. Oh my God, this builds character, this builds that. But I'm telling you, like, it genuinely builds character. So it's a love-hate thing, but I respect it. It's very black and white. They either mess with it or they don't. And, having a group of supporters goes a long way in that. If you can get, I forget the exact wording or the terminology on this, so forgive me, but I remember it was something like, if you get 100 dedicated supporters, that's all you need to take off, or that's all you need to start a business. If you have 100 dedicated supporters, people who are going to indulge in your content, support by purchasing, they will buy your merch, buy your music, go with you to your shows, go see you on tour, or whatever the case may be, right? If you have those dedicated group of supporters, that goes a long way. I forget who told me that or where I heard it from, but that was just something that I thought stood out because it's so true, right? Like, if you have a group of supporters, if you have something like that, then it's really your building blocks for your company, your franchise, your business, your art, or whatever it is. And that's why I say, and I use lightly the fact that I can compare, I say making music and podcasting, they're very much in the same. And that is pretty direct, and I think a lot of, like, I don't know what it is lately. I was having to talk, I think it was Lily. We're driving to LA and we were talking about this in the car. I think it was her. But we were saying, I was saying that I don't know what it is, but I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong in this, but I feel like ever since the pandemic, podcasting was hot, right? Like it went to the top. And I feel like like nowadays, everybody in their moms has a podcast. Like there's this, everybody has a podcast, right? But I feel like since the pandemic, it's been dying down a bit. I may be wrong on this. This is me just from the outside looking in. This isn't expert opinion. This isn't from me being a podcaster myself. This is just from me being a fan, me being a listener, to also being a podcaster, and those two factors in it, putting it all together, and then understanding my logic on it, which I really do. I swear, I feel like it slowly has died down and only a few are remaining. And I feel like, the pros, the leaders in this, and the people who've done it before the pandemic, I feel like they're always consistent. They're right there. And I don't think they're going anywhere at all. But I also feel like other ones that came in have gone, that got rapid success, have gone away when it didn't be consistent enough. And I feel like it's kind of like right now, you're really seeing which ones are really going to stand out. At least I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and who's to say with this too? That's what's tough, is that we really don't know, right? Like what's going to stand out, who's going to do what. And it's tricky. But in this crazy podcast space and crazy podcast game is where I say that, like, you'll find the black and whiteness of it that's very direct. You know what I mean? Like, even this is a perfect example right now. I'm doing this one. You already know, if you are, a returning listener, a fan, a supporter. First of all, thank you. But make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But even in this too, the solo ones, I usually keep them around 30 minutes or so. And just trying to squeeze in right now. Like I have like a small window before I got to go out and do other stuff, before I got to do stuff later tonight, and before I got to get to my haircut appointment, like I said, because I got to get the short hair era, bring the short hair era back. But I feel like it's during these times, like during these times where you have to squeeze in, where I could have just been laying on the couch, or where I could have been, getting a nap in, or spending more time with my son, or working on something around the house, or whatever the case may be. If I have a short window that I have to do this, and I can knock it out and still go on my day, and then still manage my time wisely. And sometimes maybe you are like, I know for a fact I've sacrificed plenty of hours of sleep doing this shit. I know I've sacrificed time with fam. I know I've sacrificed priorities, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, at least I think like in the end, I'm always just in the back of my mind, like, I know it's going to pay off. I know it's going to pay off. I'm doing this right now, but I know it's going to pay off. And we'll see. Maybe that time, will come for it, you know what I mean? But I just hope that I can kind of inspire some people, and then maybe interact and engage more people too. Like, I want to sit down with a different broad spectrum of guests, you know what I mean, that are genuine, that I actually want to have a conversation with, not just to have them just to fill in the spot, like a genuine conversation, right? So I'm hoping that I can book a few of those, but enough about all that type of stuff. I'll say this one thing I saw on Instagram, and I was just like, yo, I gotta talk about this one because, Logic had a second kid. Shouts out to Logic and congrats. Second child. This is that fact that having another kid makes headlines is crazy. Tupac murderer investigation. Keefe D reportedly at center of police search. Oh, I just saw this. Something about they searched something about a Las Vegas home in connection with his uncle or something like that. I forget exactly what it is. But okay, so 50. So, all right. Lately, I've been going down this weird 50 Cent rabbit hole. I'm not gonna say weird, but I was going on this rabbit hole because maybe because I've been watching a lot of Tony Yayo stuff lately, and he was on Vlad, and he was on Drink Champs, and then he was on, damn, I forget I don't know if it's a podcast or a show, but they're in a barbershop, and it's like 4 or 5 of them. But Tony Yayo was giving a bunch of the old 50 Cent stories, talk about Southside Jamaica, Queens, in New York, about being shot, the early life growing up, the crack epidemic, the stuff after getting shot, being signed, G Unit, all this stuff, all the stories. I don't know what it is, but I was like intrigued to it lately, and it's a good listen if you haven't if you haven't listened to it itself. When I'm talking about Tony Yayo, like, go in and talk about all the stuff in the past, and just like I said, the Drink Chaps, the Vlad. I'm like hooked on it right now. I don't know. I did like a deep YouTube, search history on that, and looked up like all the details and a bunch of interviews and stories, and I'm just like, damn, man. Like, I keep putting myself in shoes, like, what would have I done, and stuff like that. And then I got hyped to listen to more of his music, so then you go back and you do a deep dive on the music too. But the one thing about 50 is that he hadn't put out new music in a minute, and I'm not talking about like he's done features here and there, but like, you know what I'm saying, like music. It's been a minute, so I got excited when I saw this thing that he posted about that he's gonna be featured on Nas's upcoming album Magic 2, as he's gonna have a collab and a release date. And the thing that it says right here, it says 50 Cent has ramped up excitement for his feature on Nas's new album Magic 2, which is dropping later this week. 50 took to Instagram on Tuesday, July 18th, to confirm that he and the legendary Queensbridge lyricist will be colliding on the project, which is set to arrive Friday, July 21st. I'm definitely tapping in on that one. And it's interesting because I want to say for a minute, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they had like beef for a minute at one point, right? Yeah. They were both signed to Columbia Records. I know that. I know they've been on other stuff like mixtapes wise. I remember that. And yeah, they had like a little clash in 2005 when he like mocked them for getting a piggy bank for getting a tattoo of Callus. You know what I mean? Or Khalees, something like that. The girl that seen the milkshake one. And I remember, yeah, so they had like a little thing going on, but he gave him his flowers, you know what I mean? How could you not? It's fucking Nas, legend, lyrical legend, not just hip hop, but music in general, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So I'm excited for that one too, because I feel like 50 is like that, like, you'll get the best version of 50 depending on what song he's in and the person he's on with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like people say not to compare the two. I mean, I guess I could because they're both from New York, but people say this shit about John Jones. They say John Jones is on, like, how exciting his fight is depending on his opponent. So they say like if it's opponent that if it's an opponent that he's not like crazy too excited for, that he's not going to get up and give it his all, and it's not like as flashy, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like a little decision, controversial, boring, whatever. But when he's fighting someone like DC, it's like it raises the bar a bit, you know what I'm saying? Like it's exciting, he gets finishes. It's kind of like that with 52. Like if it's like I'm not even disrespect and say whatever artist, but if it's just like another artist that's there, you know what I'm saying? You'll hear about the 50 Cent song, you hear about him, but it won't be anything crazy. But like now you get 50 on a track with Nas, that's like sparring for them, you know. So they're gonna try to one up each other on the verses. So I'm excited to check that one out and hear about how all that's gonna be going down. Especially like I said, if you're a hip hop fan and you enjoy the music and stuff like that, definitely excited for that. And it's interesting too. Like I said, speaking about 50 and everything, like he's been coming around Sacramento more often. Like he was at the Kings. He's got like a partnership thing going on with like, I don't know if it's the arena itself, but with his cognac, I think his liquor brand. What is the liquor brand actually? Something is it with a B? Let me see. Let me look it up. 50 Cent Liquor Company. Branson. Yeah, Branson. It's a Sire Spirits. I hope that. Yeah, it's a cognac. I was right. Branson, something like that. I suck at these type of things, but yeah, he secured a bag as it says 50 Cent has 50 to 11 ways to get rich without trying. Strikes partnership deal with the NHL. I want to say it's like the Las Vegas Knights, right? Let me see. Yep, first NHL partnership deal with the Vegas Golden Knights. You know what I'm saying? And then he had it for a minute. It was like a champagne thing he had going on too in MMA with like Bellator. Like every time motherfucker would win the tournament, they would give him like $1,000 and the champagne. Le Chemin de Rouge. Fuck, I suck at these. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, maybe he had something like that going on at the arena. Maybe like an exclusive, like a licensing deal when he's, they can buy the liquor right there. And then on top of that too, I know you can get it at Tiger. Cause he did like a pop show at Tiger, like after one of the games. And I want to say he had some of the shit right there to purchase. And then on top of that, I remember off of Florin. Was it Florin? I want to say it was Florin. Maybe it was in Carmichael, but he was like at a Rayleigh's Boulevard or some shit like that. He was doing like a signing and like a little like meet and greet type of thing. But he was up here in Sac, so he's definitely doing moves. Maybe he has. Let me see. Let me look. I'm over here like questioning all this stuff, knowing damn well I can just Google it, right? Let me see. 50 Cent. Let's go down the little wormhole. Businesses. Let's see. Businesses. Let's see. 50 Cent is the founder of Sire Spirits, G-Unit Films and Television Inc., G-Unit Records, G-Unit Clothing Company, and Cheetah Vision. Mr. Jackson is also an award-winning musician, entrepreneur, actor, and producer. Oh, damn. That's not even... Bruh. Vitamin Water... I mean, yeah, that was back in the day, but... What else? I know there was something... Wasn't there something else going on for, like... That's not even... Stars, right? He has... Is he producer or director of all that shit? Movies and television. Says producer. His role is he's an executive producer. Power. It's under his own G-Unit Films production company. So he has his production company, which he signed a 4-year, $150 million deal with Stars back in 2018. And I think he wrapped that up too. I think that's done too. I know he had a video game. I know he had a boxing promotion and a book too. Mogul. I think mogul was like an understatement for this dude. Movies and television, mogul, his music career. Bruh, it's just, yeah, it's wild. Wild. They even have, there's a link, and I want to give them the credit so I don't get sued. Face2faceafrica.com. Is this real, first of all? Second of all, it said these are the top 5. This is 50.com. Cheap Vision. Yeah, we said all that already. That's wild. Is 50 even 50 yet? Is he 50 years old? Is 50-50? Yeah. I don't know, but definitely different businesses that I think doesn't get highlighted enough, man. 50 is up there. And he's in September, I think I want to say. He's coming to Sacramento to do the final tour to get the 20-year anniversary of Get Rich or Die Trying. The final tour, I think they're calling it, like something like that. The final tour. I don't know. Either way, bro, I'm excited. I want to go to that one. If they let me, I'm down to go. Yeah. I wonder if we could reach out to him about being in the podcast. I don't know if he actually will, but if he's in SAC, I mean, I'll try. Can't guarantee anything, but I will try, y'all. Anyway. Yeah, nothing much going on here. Nothing hypocritical or reasonable. I mean, there's a whole breakdown you could do technically with 50, whether it was hypocritical or reasonable for the FBI to be involved. And, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there was a few, what do they call it? Conspiracy theories for that. I don't know. Maybe we could save that one for another person. It'll be on. That'll be on here. Anyway, it's hot. I want to go get a haircut. And the short hair era is coming back. Time to lean up. And yeah. Anyway, check out the last previous episodes. Y'all tune in to any episode that you want. Listen, watch if you haven't. Check out some stuff, man. Especially the clips. Yo, the clips, low key, underrated. The clips, they're very simple. Most of them are under 5 minutes. Very underrated. Go check them out. Go do a deep dive. Go to the playlist section. Hit play all. Do all that. And I'll catch y'all next time, motherfuckers. Okay? Peace.